What's up, everybody? It's your boy Manny, and we are finally back. It is NBA opening night. As always, Manny Grotropo along with Medina Kabir.
What's
Obviously,
up?
Aaron couldn't join us, but he will be there for Around the NBA tonight. Stay tuned. Anyways, tonight, we only have two games, but it just feels great to be back. Right now, Brooklyn and Milwaukee are starting right now. As I'm currently have it on my TV, the Bucks are getting their rings. Obviously, congrats to them from last season. But obviously, they're playing a team that we don't really know what's gonna happen because of obviously Kyrie Irving. That we don't know if he's gonna play the home games and some other games that because of his vaccine status. But honestly, Medina, what are your predictions tonight for the Bucks in the Nets game?
My predictions. Well, first off, I want to give a shout out to the Bucks for winning it last season. Shout out to Giannis for playing so great. If you guys catched our show earlier, we went over the whole NBA season. What teams we are predict that are gonna make it to the playoffs this year, both from the West and the East. If you guys missed it, it was our previous show from earlier 3 p.m. today, so go ahead and catch that for more details. Second of all, shout out to Aaron, even though he couldn't be here. He's staying loyal to his Dodgers. He's at the game right now, probably watching us on his phone. Hi, Aaron.
What's
Okay.
up, Aaron?
And to get into Manny's question now, my predictions for the game tonight. I think the Bucks are gonna win it. I don't know exactly how the Nets are gonna come out looking this season without Kyrie being there. I feel like that is gonna definitely play a huge effect on the team because it's we don't know when he's coming back. We don't know what's gonna happen with him, obviously, but we do know that they still have KD and Harden, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see the chemistry between those two, and obviously all the other players as well. But I feel like for tonight, obviously, I think Giannis is going to be the best player of the game. It's going to be a good matchup between him and Durant. I'm excited to see that. That's such a good way to kick off opening night. I mean, you got the two best teams in the East going up against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the West, you got the Lakers versus Warriors. Even though Warriors were not really considered one of the best teams last year, I mean, they're still a great team. They still got some great players. So, oh, man, it's going to be hard to tell. I feel like it's going to be a close game, but I really think the Bucks are going to take it. What do you think, Manny?
If I'm gonna be totally honest with you, I actually like to see upsets in the NBA. So and obviously like in any other sport, obviously too. I'm actually gonna go with the Brooklyn Nets. Like I know everybody's picking the Bucks just because they're the champions and because Kyrie is not playing tonight, but I really want to see like the Nets win tonight just because it's nice to see something different. Plus, it's a bit of a spoiler because like I said, everybody's expecting the Bucks to win, but I expect KD to go off just because like. We all know he wants his revenge last season because, mind you, the Bucks are the team that took the Nets out in the playoffs last year. Mm-hmm. So if there is one guy that has a lot of vengeance and a lot of like jealousy for that Bucks championship, it's definitely Kevin Durant. Like we all know, he's gonna be his self tonight. I'm predicting he's gonna drop at least 28 tonight, and Harden's gonna drop at least like 25 and 8. I feel like it's gonna be a very close game. I feel like it's going to be a shootout tonight, actually. I feel like it's going to be like a low-key 121 to like 118 game. I feel like it's going to be a lot of scoring. I feel like even, to talk about the Bucks also a little bit, I feel like even Chris Middleton, too, he's going to shoot his share of threes and play great defense. Drew Holiday is going to play his outstanding defense. Like I said in our last show before, Drew Holiday, his defense and presence is always felt in every night he plays. And also another player I want to talk about on the Bucks too. There's also another guy I forgot to mention yesterday when I was talking about our predictions for the top 5 for the East. I forgot to talk about Pat Connaughton. He's also a really good shooter and a guy who also has a bit of hops. He can dunk the basketball as well. So like it's gonna be a crazy game. And also back to the Nets, obviously. Another guy I wanted to talk. I talked a bit about last night in our pre-recorded show. Is Nicholas Claxton, and I said that I really like this kid's future. and I like that he's like the total successor to DeAndre Jordan because I just feel like DeAndre Jordan did not fit that team very well, and they have a new young center in Nicholas Claxton, and I feel like he's gonna have a nice game. He might not play a lot of minutes, but I feel like he's gonna easily get like a nice 10.7 rebound game, and he'll play maybe like 20 minutes. He won't play much, but I feel like he's gonna do his share tonight for the Bucks in order to keep that a bit competitive.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, I'm gonna go with right now our our keys to the game. Medina, what do you think your keys to the game tonight? Since you picked the Bucks to win tonight, what are your keys to the game for the Bucks? How do you think they end up stopping a offensive talent like Kevin Durant and James Harden?
Okay, well, one, as great as, Harden and KD and the Brooklyn Nets overall, as great as they are, they still lack some defensive players on their team. So I feel like that's where the Bucks are gonna have most advantage of. You're gonna see Giannis take it in so many times, and I feel like for the Nets at least, they're gonna have to play really strong defense if they're gonna want to win this game. Because like you said, Manny, I really do believe it's gonna be a shootout game as well. It's gonna come close. I feel like Bucks are gonna win it 110 to like 105, something around those numbers. So I mean, for the Bucks to win it, I mean, we just gotta have them just keep driving that ball in and shooting those 3-pointers against KD, because they're gonna come back. They're gonna come out tonight. They're hungry to win this game after the way they lost in the playoffs, Game 7 against the Bucks. So even though it's opening night, they'll be surprised if you see it as a playoff game tonight. They're gonna be playing their hearts out. They're gonna want to win this game tonight, like you said. But I still think that the Bucks are gonna come out better and stronger, because I do believe the Nets are lacking some chemistry without Kyrie being there, and I feel like that's probably gonna throw off the team for a little while until they figure out what's gonna happen. What about you?
Yeah, obviously, in my opinion, I agree with you there with Brooklyn. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with Kyrie. We're hearing that he's very reluctant. He does not want to get the vaccine, but it's his choice. I know a lot of people are bashing him on Twitter, like, you're an idiot, what's wrong with you? But look, it's his choice. He doesn't want to get the vaccine. It's his choice. You can't really, like, get mad at him for that.
It's a personal choice, yeah.
Exactly. So, and another thing I want to say is that obviously, what we see from Brooklyn, yeah, they're a bit of turmoil with Kyrie, but from what we see with KD and Harden, we know what they're all about. But I agree with you with their woes on defense. I literally think they didn't get any better on defense. I feel like they should have picked up like a 3-and-D guy, like for example the Lakers. We got Trevor Ariza back in 2009 from 2009. I feel like Brooklyn should have got Trevor Ariza. I feel like that would have been a perfect pickup for them to help a bit with their defense. And also, yeah, exactly, Trevor Ariza. I was just thinking right there. But yeah, Trevor Ariza like would have been a perfect pickup for them. And also because like they do lack a bit of wing help. And that would have been perfect for them in my opinion. But I still think it's going to be crazy. My key to the game for Brooklyn, since I picked Brooklyn for this game, my key to the game is basically just try your best to play defense and to like be able to cover the paint, because actually that's like my main key to the game, cover the paint. And the reason why I say that is because we know what Giannis is all about. He's just gonna drive to the basket, get all his points inside, absolutely body people, and unless KD is KD tonight, because we all know that he's obviously an offensive defensive presence, but he has a long wingspan. He has to use that long wingspan on Giannis, and if he does not, I don't think the Nets could win this game if that's the case, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree there with you, Manny. It's going to be an interesting game to watch, but we'll see that for ourselves very soon here. And do you want to start getting into the West teams?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That's let me take out the kicker. Hold on. There you go. I
All
had the key
right.
to the game on. I was going to talk about that for the West. I'm like, what am I doing? But anyways, we're obviously gonna get into that like with the West for the keys to the game. But right now, we're gonna
Just gonna give off
preview,
our predictions. Yeah.
yes, and our predictions on the Lakers and the Warriors. It's gonna be a rematch, obviously, of the play-in game, which was obviously down to the wire. LeBron obviously hit a shot from like Mars, pretty much, to win that game for us. Funny thought, guys. Aaron and Medina were actually at a bar live watching it, and and
Yes, we
uh,
were.
and
We
and
went
the guy
crazy
and the
after
bars
that
went
shot.
crazy. But anyways, yeah. So obviously we all know there's going to be one guy on the Warriors that has a lot of like KD has with the Bucks. Steph Curry is going to have that for the Lakers to have a lot of vengeance because you know it's not like they even got the 8th seed and won the second playing game. They lost their second playing game to the Grizzlies. So we know Steph is angry as hell. Like LeBron made the playoffs and I didn't. So like I'm sure he's gonna have a lot of revenge game. But obviously we all know who we're riding with. It's the purple and gold. But obviously like my predictions for this game, I feel like it's gonna be a 10-point game. I feel like it's gonna come down to the wire. But then I feel like in the fourth quarter, either LeBron, AD, or Russ are going to carry in the end. And the final score, my opinion for that game is gonna be like I'm gonna say probably like 111 to like 101. I feel like it's gonna be a very close game, and then obviously in the fourth, someone's gonna put it away for us. What do you think, Medina, about that?
I think a little differently there. I think just because, this is more of like a revenge game for the Warriors, I don't think they're going to lose by 10 points. I do believe that the Lakers are going to win it tonight, but it's going to be a LeBron versus Stephen Curry show. They're going to go off on each other tonight. And don't be surprised if at one point you even see the Warriors taking the lead there for a good minute. But I really feel like it's going to be something similar to the not the playoff game, the play-in tournament game. It's going to be very close, and I feel like one of our guys is going to get a bait shot in, and then that's probably going to, I don't know, have us win it by at least like a good 4 or 5 points, I want to say. Even though the Warriors still don't have Klay Thompson back in, you got to give a lot of credit to Steph Curry. He carried that team on his back last year. I mean, I know he didn't do it on his own. He still has some great teammates alongside with him. But for someone that didn't have their second best 3-point shooter on that team, in my opinion, they came very close to making it to the playoffs, which was honestly a shocker for me. I didn't think the Warriors were going to even get that far last year. So don't be surprised if you see Curry going off on us tonight. And honestly, even though I still think the Lakers are going to win it, the Warriors still have a big shot of winning it tonight too. Steph goes off on us all the time. And like you said, he's pissed. He wants to win this game tonight. He wants to show up LeBron tonight. So don't be surprised if you see a LeBron versus Steph rivalry. I can't say that word.
Rivalry.
Yeah.
You're getting there.
Yeah. But I'm excited. I think it's such a great way to open the game tonight. Warriors versus Lakers. It's fun. We don't hate the Warriors. We love seeing them play. It's fun to watch Steph. It's fun to watch LeBron. It's all good. And it's someone else that we actually did pick up recently. We haven't talked about this yet, Manny. We picked up Avery Bradley again.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about you, but even though I'm a little skeptical about him just because he didn't want to return back to the Lakers last year, and not for the bubble, but like for the next season, and it just felt like he didn't want to come back to the Lakers for a while there. And when I saw him play against us last week during the preseason game against the Warriors, he was going off on us. It just kind of felt like he was a little bit salty towards the Lakers there for a minute. So I was really shocked to see that we picked them up yesterday. I was like, whoa, wait a minute there. But I'm really happy that we got him back because he is such a great guard. He's good on defense, and he can shoot 3-pointers. He was a great starting player for us last year. And I I think we're gonna see a lot of improvement with our defense, because if you guys have been watching these Laker preseason games, one thing that we're really lacking in now, even though we were the number one team for it last year, is our defense. And adding Bradley back on our
Yeah.
roster, I think it's gonna really improve that a lot.
I totally agree with you. The Avery Bradley was really missed with us, but obviously also Rondo and Dwight too were really missed. But back to what you're saying
Yes.
about Avery Bradley, yeah, I remember that preseason game a few weeks ago. He went crazy, and I was actually thinking to myself like, why the hell did we not bring him back? But I understand obviously his choice. We know
Yeah.
basketball is a business. Like we can't really like fault him for
We
that, but
wanted him to come back. All of us Laker fans wanted him to come back.
we did, yeah. But the
Yeah.
thing is that we really can't forget how good Avery Bradley and valuable he was before the
Hmm.
bubble. When we played the Clippers that Sunday, I literally
Yes.
came back from Connecticut that day. As soon as I walked in my house, I went to watch that Lakers Clippers game. Avery Bradley, I think he had like 22 or 23 points. He shot like 40% from three. He was on fire. And even like I remember a lot of the NBA analysts the next day, they were all saying like that game was known as the Avery Bradley game. He's the reason why, along with LeBron and AD, that they ended up taking down the Clippers and the Bucks on that same weekend. Obviously, it sucked we couldn't have them in the bubble, but he wasn't really missing the bubble since we won the championship. But we would have really needed him last season because, yes, like you said, Medina, we had the number one defense in the NBA, but think about how much better it would have looked in the playoffs,
Yeah.
and how much it would have been like he would have been like the perfect guy to have right on Devin Booker in the playoffs. Like Devin Booker's taking a three in the corner, to have Avery Bradley's defensive presence on him would have done wonders for us. But obviously he wasn't on our team last season, but that's no here or there. But glad that we have him back. And I just love all the moves the Lakers did, and even the Warriors too. Like we can't forget the Warriors too, because for their squad, like Jordan Poole. I don't know if you know Jordan Poole, but he is a really outstanding young player, and people are comparing him as like the third Splash Brother on that team. Like he's been shooting a lot of threes like last season, and even like in the preseason, like I've seen him play against the Lakers. In the preseason, and like he was shooting a lot of threes on us, and I'm like this
Yeah,
kid
he
looks
was.
legit. I really think
He looks like a little mini Steph Curry out there.
he does. He literally does, like a really young Steph Curry, and like yes, I know THT sadly isn't playing tonight, but it would have been nice to see like the two best young players on the Lakers and Warriors go up against each other, THT and Jordan Poole. That would have been really really nice to see. But obviously the Warriors do have their draft picks that they drafted, which in my opinion, like I said in our last pre-recorded show, absolute steals, Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody. I really think it's going to be a big test for us, but I'm happy to see that Kent Bazemore is starting, because we know, Medina, that he was a great 3-and-D player for us back in 2014 during the rebuilding years. So I'm glad to see that he's back and that he's starting alongside Russ at the 1, and then we have obviously Monk at the 2, and then him at the 3, which is absolutely nice. But another question I have to ask you, Medina, is what are your expectations for Russell Westbrook tonight? Because we know it's his Staples Center debut, like for real, like it actually counts this time.
He's gonna prove all the haters wrong. I know he was struggling a little bit during the beginning of preseason, but towards the end, like the last couple games, he was finding his rhythm with the team. He was going off. I think it's because he's so used to being a one-man show on his team, scoring, just being the one to take over and take control. And coming to like LeBron's team, where like LeBron, he's the best. That's no doubt. There's no doubt about that. But
Thanks.
he knows how to be a proper teammate. He passes the ball and he relies on others to make the shots for him when he's struggling. And to come from a team where you're doing most of the work to a team where you're actually you actually have to share the ball. That it's a huge transition for him, and I could see that he was struggling with that a little bit. Even us Laker fans, we wanted to see him become more aggressive, but he wasn't really sure what to do when he had the ball in his hand. But lately, he's been getting more comfortable and confident out there, and he's been aggressive. Those last couple, especially that last game, even though we did lose, of course, he was being aggressive. He was taking the ball in. He wasn't afraid the ball was being passed to him. He's a great player. He's gonna make a great Lakers. He's gonna be make a great Lakers player. Excuse me. And I don't know. Don't be too surprised if you see him go off tonight. It's it's gonna be an experience to watch. Westbrook and LeBron and AD out there playing a real game tonight. I know, I've been saying, Manny, we were struggling throughout that whole preseason, but what
Yeah.
everyone fails to realize is that that's all trial and error. You learn from your mistakes that you make in
Hmm.
those games that don't count. And I have a feeling that the Lakers are going to come out so strong tonight, and that chemistry that they've been building between them, we're going to see that on the court. And like I said, I'm gonna just say one last thing one more time. I'm gonna repeat myself.
Go right
He's gonna
ahead.
prove all the haters wrong. Everyone's doubting Westbrook right now, but it's gonna come to the point where you might even see him have a triple double game in the Lakers
Ooh.
with the Lakers one. What not today, but eventually. I wouldn't be surprised. He's a great player, and once like I said, he just needs to get that confidence going. He's gonna have that game for himself. What about you? What do you think?
How right you are, Medina, on that. Russell Westbrook will prove the haters wrong, and we all know why he's being hated. We are like the most hated team in basketball, so I'm not surprised. But yeah, I like how you brought up that Westbrook. He was slowly finding his rhythm in the last few games of the preseason, but
Mm-hmm.
the last game against the Sacramento Kings is when he really found his rhythm. Yes, I know he only played 29 minutes. Usually, Russ is like used to playing like 35 to 40 minutes, but obviously because it's preseason, he's not going to play a lot of minutes. But he did get 18 points and 5 assists, and he did shoot 7 for 12, and he shot 1 for 3 from the 3 point line, and shot 3 for 6 from the free throw line. So he did absolutely like find his rhythm in that last game of the preseason. But like you said, preseason is trial and error. So even though we had an 0-6 record, it doesn't clearly matter just because like I'm gonna give you guys an example to our viewers and also to Medina. 2012, 2013. Yes, I know we like to forget about that season because that's when Kobe tore his Achilles, sadly. But the Lakers went 0-8 in preseason that year and still made the playoffs. So that should tell everybody that preseason clearly does not matter.
Yeah,
It matters for the young guys to get their rhythm going and the new guys to get their rhythm going.
exactly.
But like when it comes to like record wise, who gives S star star star, if you know what I'm trying to say. If you think about it. Basically, tonight is when it actually counts, and we are absolutely incredibly excited. I like how Medina, how you brought up the fact that Klay Thompson when he's gonna come back, and in November when he comes back, like that's gonna be an amazing storyline for the NBA in just general because obviously I'm a diehard Laker fan, but like I love the NBA as much as the next guy as well. So like we all want to see Klay Thompson back fully healthy. We haven't seen that since the 2019 finals.
We want
And
to see the
this
Splash Brothers splashing it all together. Yes.
exactly. And those of you that have League Pass, like man, do I envy you to watch Steph and Clay every night just popping threes, and even the little baby Steph Curry, like how Medina called him, Jordan Poole. That's going to be absolutely incredible. But right now, I'm going to get into our keys to the game for the Lakers Warriors. Medina, what are your keys to the game tonight, and how do you think we stop Steph Chef Curry?
Okay. Well, one major defense. Got to play that for sure on the perimeter. We can't let Steph get hot tonight. We can't. I mean, he's going to be shooting threes, and if he keeps making those, we're done for it. Also, number one thing that the Lakers keep doing that really, really brings them down: turnovers. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god. I know preseason's just preseason, but my god, whenever I see the turnover rate for the Lakers, I'm just like, wow. Like how are you guys even that close to winning the game with that many turnovers? Especially like I feel like most of their turnovers happen in the first 2 quarters. They need to keep that low. They need to keep that below 10. And
Absolutely.
that if they're going to go against a team like the Warriors tonight, if they want to win, keep the turnover rate low as possible, because you cannot be giving up that ball to Steph Curry every time, and he's gonna go off on us with that. What about you, Manny?
Completely agree with you on that. Like, Steph Curry will 100% go off on us if we do not tighten our defense and we don't limit our turnovers, because I noticed that too in the preseason. We were getting up like 12, 15 turnovers a night. I just remember how bad the first game against the Nets was. Like obviously I know that was our first game all together with our new squad, but like it doesn't make any excuse. Like, I know preseason is preseason, like you said, but come on. Like, I would notice, like, for example, like one of our guards and one of our small forwards. Obviously, there was a bunch of them, a plethora of them, obviously, that would just give up the ball, and they were passing to other guys, and then just like give the ball up out of nowhere to the Warriors, and I'm just watching, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
This has been a consistent problem with the Lakers.
That's the problem. It's been going on for the past few years, and yeah, I know. Like, I know Frank Vogel's a good coach. Not putting this on Frank Vogel. I know he knows what he's doing, but we just have to like do our best to limit the turnovers. I agree with you there. And LeBron James, yes, I know you're not the coach, but you are like the leader player on this team. Like, you got to be that off the bench as well. Like on the bench as well. Like, you got to do like Kobe did. Like, draw plays on the board. Say like, you go here, you go there. Like, you know what I mean? He's got to do something like that. Because Kobe was the leader on this team, but now it's now obviously RIP to Kobe and everybody else on that airplane. But like, LeBron has to be that guy after Kobe to end up being that main leader of the team. So basically, my keys to the game, if I'm going to talk about my keys to the game for the Lakers, is that same thing for the Brooklyn Nets. Tighten up the defense, especially on the 3-point line. Because for obviously the Nets, I said tighten it in the interior, but for the Lakers, and tighten it up on the 3-point line, because we know that Steph Curry and Jordan Poole are going to light it up Irish spring green on us. So we really need to like have our guys in. This is where Avery Bradley comes in my opinion.
Yes.
If Avery Bradley is playing a lot of minutes tonight, he's the perfect guy I want on either Steph or Jordan Poole. Because we know, not only is Avery Bradley a great 3-point shooter, and he showed that 2 years ago with us, but obviously we know he's a very crafty defender and a very good perimeter defender. So that's why I really, really would love to see Avery Bradley on them. And even Kent Bazemore. Like we all know that he's really good at defense, and even Trevor Ariza is really good on defense. So to have those guys, I know they're not guards, but to at least try to get on Steph and on Jordan Poole, those would be the perfect guys to get on them. And also, let's talk a bit about the draft picks that they had, the Warriors. One of them, actually, Moses Moody, was a great shooter in college. This is one guy that I would also want one of our guys to be on Moses Moody, because we know that he's going to get a lot of good looks as well. So basically, that's going to be our show today. I am incredibly happy that the NBA is back to normalcy. No more of these like 72 games or 60 whatever games. We have a full 82 game schedule, October to April, then April to June. Guys, it is absolute honor to have you guys watching us. Make sure to look out in the post game and around the NBA. For me, Medina, and Aaron, I'm signing off. Peace.
Bye.